Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest and exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Welcome to another edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Some of our great friends are here from AP Laser. You've seen them before, and I hear from a lot of folks saying that they don't want to pull the trigger on an AP Laser because they think it might be too hard to get started. But Jason, that is not the case at all. How simple was it to get moving with AP Laser?
So it was actually very simple. The sales and the tech support that I worked with to get the machine is great. The turnkey package straight from them, got everything in the crate, unloaded everything, set it all up, and was able to start burning in no time.
That's very cool. Now, what were some of the things about the AP Laser that made you decide to go with this brand instead of some of the others that are out there?
So I looked at Epilogue, I looked at Glowforge, and the AP came out with their new model, the 2616. It was right in our price range, and we ended up thinking, you know what, this is going to be a good start for us as a startup business. And it's lightweight and portable. It's got the open architecture. It's got the 24/7 tech support, and it has the Facebook user groups that we were able to get on and learn, try before you buy type thing, learn some stuff from them, and it's actually worked out really well.
Now, this is one of the larger models we have here with the Z table, as AP Laser calls it, that slides in and out underneath. How does the open architecture work with the smaller model like you have?
So we actually have a lift cart that goes underneath ours, the 2616, and it allows us to be able to do something as small as a golf tee to something larger like a cornhole board or door, if you will, something larger, headstone or a marker for cemeteries. We can do all that kind of stuff, put it on the lift cart, put it up there, and it's nice and big and open and works great for larger items.
You've got a ton of stuff here. You've done all kinds of items. You ran through some of them. This looks like you've been at this for years, but that's not the case.
It's not. We've been at it for about 6 months.
No kidding.
And it's been really good for us. We're trying all different kinds of different items to laser on stuff you can buy at Walmart. Simple stuff like this to acrylic that you can buy online and get it shipped to the house.
Let's talk about that ammo can. You're military. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, you're welcome.
How popular is that with military folks?
So it's great. We sell a lot of those on our Etsy site, and we can add names to them, customize them, change flag, do anything like that, and people love them. They like giving them away for Father's Day and birthdays and stuff.
And you hit on that. You're taking an ordinary object and turning it into something personal. How important is that to you, and how important is that to the folks that are getting this for somebody special?
The personalization is great. It allows you to give somebody a custom gift that you've put some thought into, and they're going to remember for their lifetime. You can do simple stuff, obviously like the tumblers and whatnot, or you can do handwriting preservation, which is great for loved ones that are no longer with us, and allow them to always be able to look at that and say, you know what, that was somebody's handwriting or somebody from a loved one that has passed.
And this one here, this is your mom, your late mother who recently passed away.
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear about that, but you've done a neat job with her handwriting there, and that's made something really special for your daughter.
It has. I did one for both my daughters. We took a birthday card she had got for them and signed, and took a picture of it, put it in the system, scanned it, and then was able to laser it on the frame. It turned out great, something they'll always remember.
So something like that shows you don't have to be a graphic artist. You're actually literally scanning something into the computer. And that's sort of the same case here, because I look at these and I think, man, I don't have the creativity to come up with these designs, but you don't need that. You just need a good eye for something cool.
That's correct. I also do a lot of stuff through Etsy. Buy an SVG file on there, and you can take it and modify it to whatever you need. You can add names to it, you can change font types, and you can buy files on there and add to and take away. That's where the wife comes in. She does a great job with helping me with designs, and some of the stuff has turned out very well.
We see here there's lots of different materials. How easy is it to go from, say, a wood to a stone to a plastic with AP Laser?
It's very simple. In the back of their owner's manual, they actually give you settings to try to start with, and then you can customize those settings to see how they look. So to go from like a cutting board to a piece of slate, super simple. Just changing the focus of the laser and you're good to go. The same thing with some of the coasters, the wood and marble coasters, and the plastics for some of your cake toppers and stuff for seniors and whatnot. But yeah, to change is simply on the fly.
you're a racing family, so Motorhead Garage is a perfect fit. You guys are a GTO family, right?
We are.
Yeah. So what's your racing experience?
So raced for a few years. We actually raced on Pinks All Out as well. My dad and I both raced in there. He actually ended up getting down to the final 4 cars. It was a fan favorite. It was one of the only GTOs to be on the show. And we raced in the Pontiac Nationals in Norwalk, Ohio. And just spent a lot of time with the Pontiac family. The whole Pontiac family is a great family to be part of, and a lot of fun.
Well, here's something that we were working on here a few minutes ago in the studio, this Pontiac GTO. Perfect fit for your family, perfect tribute to your parents. So very cool stuff. Yeah, you got it. And whether it's a license plate or a mug or a coaster or anything like that, you can take something ordinary and make it extraordinary with AP Laser. Which
yes,
I really
you can.
like.
You can. And with that being said, I'd like to present you with a 20-ounce tumbler with our logo on it as a thank you for having us on your show.
Well, we're grateful that you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will use it every day, I promise. The Hopkins Freedom Mug, you can check them out online. You can also go to aplaser.com/TV. We will return with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. So don't go anywhere. We're coming back. We hope you do too.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Forney Industries, for welders built by welders. And by NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, keeps on trucking. Check out this beautiful 1969 Chevrolet C10. It's probably the nicest one we've ever had in the studio. The owner of this, when he got it, well, it wasn't a basket case. It was a good-looking truck. He put some new wheels on it, new mirrors, windows, and redid the interior completely, and that was the big part of the work. Now, he put in a new stereo. It was modern, did everything he needed it to do, but it didn't have that classic look. So he contacted us, and of course we contacted our friends at Custom Auto Sound. Now Custom Auto Sound has a stereo that's going to look period correct for your classic vehicle. So going way back, we've got 18 different makes, I count, at Custom Auto Sound, and that covers 400 different models of vehicles, and they have a stereo that's going to look right in your hot rod and classic. Now, it's not just a gimmick at Custom Auto Sound. They don't create a stereo that just looks good and doesn't work well. They make sure that everything they put out is of the highest quality. They've got a temperature aging test to make sure your stereo is going to endure all the hot conditions and the cold conditions in your vehicle day after day after day. The extreme temperature test, doing the same thing. Also a vibration test, because chances are you've got this thing hopped up. There's an LS motor in this truck, a lot of vibration, and you're gonna be hot rodding it, so that means this thing could shake loose or maybe hit a big pothole or something like that. You know that your radio from Custom Auto Sound is going to hold up. And Custom Auto Sound isn't some fly-by-night operation that just started doing this. They've been at it since 1977, so decades of experience giving you great looking stereos for your classic vehicle and really durable that are going to last for a long, long time. And it's not just stereo sound. Of course, you're getting all the accessories you'd love to have. You're getting connection for your Bluetooth. You're getting your iPod connection, maybe an aux connector or something like that. All the modern conveniences that you'd have in a brand new car, and you can have it in your classic automobile. Now, this is an example of the slide bar radio. This is one that we put in this beautiful truck here. And as you look, it's got a black face, but you can take it and do the slide bar over to the side, and it looks like you have a vintage radio. So folks looking at it will not know the difference. They won't realize all the power here, 300 watts of power and all the modern accessories you have. Now there is a Bluetooth kit that you can pair along with your Custom Auto Sound stereo, and you can have Bluetooth and ride along hands-free. When you get your Custom Auto Sound stereo, everything is color-coded. So take a look at the wiring connectors here. Everything is color-coded, everything is labeled. On both harnesses here, you just simply plug them into the back of the stereo and you're ready to go. Of course, all the cables you need to go with it and any bracketry you might need for your vehicle. Every vehicle is different, of course, so the application could be different. And even down to the knobs. They thought of everything. They actually have knobs that look period correct on any vehicle you're going to be putting them in. Every Custom Auto Sound stereo comes with instructions, and they are very good instructions, but the process really isn't that hard. Now, how we did it here on the Chevy C10, First thing we did, of course, was take out the old stereo, and then we were able to make our connections with the new one. Now, we removed the glove box, and we were able to get better access to get behind the dash there. We took our custom auto sound stereo, and you can see on the back there's the iPod connector, there's the USB cord, and the subwoofer out on the back. You make any of those connections if you want to make them. If not, of course, you can just delete them and leave them there. And then we took both of our wiring connectors, plugged them into the back of the unit. Sometimes it takes a little bit of yoga to get back there and to get it in the right position, but we were able to make those connections. They snap in place, so you know that they are seated and you know that the unit is going to work. So we were able to slide it back up in from behind. This is one of the easier ones, I have to admit, that we've had to do. Some vehicles you might be down on the floor or something like that, but ultimately it's not that hard. You may need a buddy to help pull the stereo up in. In this case, I was able to push it up from behind. And once you get it up in there, then you've got a couple of washers to put in. So we've got a big washer that we put in that looks great on the face there, and then a smaller washer on top of that. And then some nuts for either side. Now, you don't want to put a whole lot of pressure on this. So with the first one, I actually ran it down just finger tight, and I thought I was good there until I let go of the stereo at the end of the process, and it kind of flopped over. So I realized I needed to pull everything back off, pulled the knobs off and everything, and went back in, reseated those nuts using just the socket. You don't need the wrench because you don't need that much power. Just ran it down with the socket, and then we were able to proceed with the process. Once we got the stereo seated behind the dash and looking good, just popped on the knobs. First the backing on the knob, and there's a couple little notches to make sure you're in the right position. And then the finishing touch, the knob's right on the front, and you are powered up and ready to go. We cranked it up and we heard some great music right away, and it was just that simple with our stereo from Custom Auto Sound. So if you have a classic vehicle, you want the modern conveniences like Bluetooth, and you want to listen to your tunes, but you want to keep that classic look, Custom Auto Sound is the only place to go. You can check them out at customautosound.com. We'll be right back with more great products like this when we come back to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
You have seen over the past few weeks how the last coat works for your automobile, making it look fantastic. Nick, you're a professional detailer. How important is it to you that each one of these products does its job and does it really well?
It's probably more than important to me. We want it to be very effective and efficient. Certainly when you're in a detailing business, time is money. But even if you're not a detailer and you're taking care of your own car, you have other things that you want to be doing as well. So being efficient is a very, very big thing to us, as well as the durability and longevity of our products.
How big of a challenge was it to get something that gives professional grade results that just, Joe Schmo can use in the garage?
It is very difficult. The real-world testing side of it is a lot longer than actually having a product made. So there's a lot of variables that can be changed throughout the testing, but we do real-world testing on actual real cars that are being driven around constantly, and that gives us our definitive answer on what we release to the client.
And then how important is feedback from your customers?
We love the feedback, actually. We will send out emails and ask people what kind of products they want, how happy they are with our products. We really want to know that everybody is fully satisfied.
And if they're not fully satisfied for whatever reason, they're protected.
Yes, they are. We have a 365-day money-back guarantee. It is the longest in the industry.
When I see a new product, I'm an agnostic. I want proof that it's going to work. So when I go online, what am I going to find?
Well, when you go onto our website, you're going to find we have over 10,000 five-star reviews from our clients.
You can check out the products for yourself. Find out what thousands and thousands of people love about the Last Coat. Check it out at thelastcoat.com/Motorhead.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
All right, so you haven't bought a Magic Creeper yet, so what are you using in the meantime? You've got some alternatives, and they're not that great. Here's a classic right here, the old cardboard box. If you're lucky enough to find one that's big enough, you can use this to slide under the car, and it works okay if you're working in the driveway or in the garage, but it doesn't do real well over gravel and some rough surfaces. It doesn't last all that long, plus it's going to soak up all the fluids if you're doing an oil change. If there's any oil on the floor of your garage already, it's going to soak up in this thing. It's not going to last that long, and certainly you're not going to want to take this with you in your car every place you go, and it's not going to be useful on the side of the road in an emergency. Plus, if it gets wet, this thing is toast, so it's only good for one use. Got the old mover's blanket here, if you're lucky enough to have one in nice shape like this one. Same story here. This is going to soak up all the fluids, This is particularly hard to slide around on. So it gives you some cushioning under a vehicle, but it doesn't work all that well for maneuvering. And it definitely is going to soak up all the oil, and it's going to stink, because this one really stinks. If you are fancy, you've got a traditional creeper like the ones we see here, and those are fine if your floor is really, really smooth. Maybe you've had it shot peened, you've got a nice glassy surface, that works okay until you run into a little pebble or you run into a tool and it's not going to be able to move for you. Plus, it's going to take up about 4 inches or so of your clearance because it's got the casters underneath, and that's going to make it a lot harder to work under the car, not going to give you all the space you need. And in addition, just like with the cardboard, you're not going to want to take the traditional creeper with you when you go in your car. There's no way you can put this inside your vehicle. So you want to get the Magic Creeper. Now the Magic Creeper rolls up just like this. It only weighs 3 pounds. You can stick it anywhere in your vehicle, under a seat or in the trunk. It's there whenever you need it. You can also whip it out and use it in the garage or in your yard. It rolls over roots, it rolls over mud, it rolls over tools, and it goes anywhere you want it to go with maximum ground clearance. In fact, it takes up no space at all, so you get the maximum space you need when working under your car. There is only one Magic Creeper, and you can only find it at magiccreeper.com. Go get one. Stop using all this stuff. Do not go anywhere, because Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, will be right back.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Latch Lugs, specialty RV lighting. Carnage Performance Exhaust, race-proven performance and sound. And by Outcast Fab Works, ATV suspension lifts and UTV suspension lift kits.
If you take a look around you, you'll see that diesel engines are becoming more and more popular. Folks using them for towing applications in their pickup trucks and, of course, on farms. And Pasha, we know they make a ton of torque, but what's going on inside the diesel engine that makes it different from a gasoline engine?
One key difference of a diesel engine for application of Tribotex that it produced dramatically higher amount of carbon. And that carbon detrimental for most engines. That's why diesel engines have larger sump to accumulate that much of a carbon, larger filters to retain it and filter it out. Tribotex is unique because of its synergy with the carbon in oil. It takes carbon from oil and apply to a surface into diamond-like carbon film. In diesel engines, that synergy played even stronger, so we developed a product that is specifically fine-tuned for the diesel pickup applications, and the response for it is dramatic. Especially it's good for engines like a Power Stroke that use oil in activation of the injection. In those applications, there's well-known problems with the stiction. One application and it's gone.
What are folks noticing when they use Tribotex for the first time?
So right away for the engine with the stiction, the engine starts easier, and for diesels, they hate cold starts. The less smoke on the startup, and torque gets even better, and generally engine runs smoother because diesel engine generally are rattlers.
And how much is Tribotex going to prolong the life of a diesel engine, just like they would a gasoline engine as well?
Diesel engines already last quite a bit because of the inherently better design. But even with those, we expect double to triple life of the engine, which is good for applications like mining or heavy industries.
If you're using a diesel around the house, around the farm, or for industrial use, you're going to love Tribotex. It's going to prolong the life of your vehicle, and that's going to save you money. Check out Tribotex at tribotex.com. Here at NHOU, Joe, you've got two signature products. Tell me what the difference is and how they work under my car.
So basically, same product. This one, which is our back in black, has a carbon tint. We had a lot of customers come in and said, hey Joe, this looks great, but gee, I know I'm getting the protection, but if you could improve the appearance while protecting the surface, boom, back in black. So the two will give you the same protection, and one will substantially improve the appearance of that surface.
Now we know people are very crafty, And you've got to believe that people have come up with other ways to use this stuff. Where are some other applications for this that you've learned?
Well, so it is engineered for that application, but honestly, any metal surface would be pretty close to that application. And we've found people that are having very good results using this in HVAC systems, not only on the metal surfaces, but the wires, because it's non-conductive. It is actually going to stop corrosion on the wires, and it helps a little bit with mice as well. We find it on boat trailers. They'll do the rear end of the vehicle, especially, that's always going into the water. It is a great agricultural use on farm equipment. It helps hay equipment, different types of lawnmowers or brush hogs.
And you touched on it, mice have been a problem, and you developed a new product specifically to address that.
Yes, so that was from one of our great customers who came in and said, hey, listen, this is a big problem. One of the ways I solved it was with a menthol. I know that that is a deterrent, so what we did was we added menthol to our clear oil, and we also know that the oil is a deterrent. Because in my shop, when we spray vehicles, these mice, if they're in there, they're gone. And everyone had mice in our complex except us. And it was because they did not want to step on this oil. Well, you combine that with the smell, and we've added one thing else additional, which makes it smell like a cat urine, which is predatory. It's a very effective way to keep rodents out.
Well, you can keep the mice away, you can keep the rust away, and you can find out how at NHOilUndercoating.com. Alrighty, well, we have successfully completed another edition of the show, and we're going to do it once again next week, so we hope you join us then. In the meantime, if you have a product you'd like to see featured on the show, email Jeff at masterstv.com. From our entire crew here at our Borla Studios, we'll see you once again next week. So long.